Hello students, welcome once more to online video class for ICSE class 10th computer applications. In today's video we are going to discuss about mathematical functions in Java. Today we will discuss what are the syntax of different mathematical functions, what are the return types of different mathematical functions. It means result of different functions will belong to which data type. Definition of these functions along with examples to understand the concept of mathematical functions. In ICSE syllabus, we have to study about 15 mathematical functions. Syntax of all the mathematical functions is same. We follow the common syntax, that is system class math. M will be capital here, dot, name of the mathematical function, and in bracket argument or arguments. Since all the mathematical functions belong to same system class math, so we follow the same syntax for all the functions, starting with math dot function name. Some functions receive one argument, some functions work on two arguments. For example, sqrt function needs one number. To find maximum of two numbers, we need two arguments. That is why in the syntax it is mentioned argument or arguments. So depending on the function, argument will be either 1 or 2. Now this point is very important before starting the mathematical functions. How to know or learn the data types of the value returned by these functions. Since there are about 15 functions, to learn the return type of all the functions separately, it is a difficult task and you will forget it also. So I have important tips for you how you can learn the data type of these mathematical functions. Means the result of these functions will belong to which data type. So you need to only learn these 3 points. Round is the only function in Java which returns integer type value. Max, min and abs. These 3 functions return the value depending on the argument. It means for all these 3 functions, max, min and abs, if the argument passed belong to integer value, then answer of this function will also be in integer value. Similarly, if the argument passed belongs to double value, then the function will return double value and so on. So depending on the argument, whether int, long, float, double, return type will be same as depending on the argument. So these 3 functions you have to learn separately, max, min and abs, return the type of value depending on the argument. Now, all the other mathematical functions in Java return double type of value. So we are going to study all these functions one by one, starting with sqrt. It is the short form of square root. This function returns the square root of a number, positive number, because square root of only positive number is possible. For negative, square root is not possible. So with this example it will become clear to you. Since return type is double value, so we can take any double variable like x or y. Math.sqrt, 25 is the argument since it works on one value. So square root of 25 is 5. We are passing here integer value, but since the function returns double value, so its answer will come in 5.0. And if the argument passed is 25.0, in that case also square root will be 5.0. So for positive numbers it will give the square root, but suppose you are passing a negative number in the argument like square root of minus 25, it is invalid. In that case NaN will be the answer. NaN means not defined, because square root of negative number is not possible. Second function cvrt, It is the short form of cube root. So it returns the cube root of a number. Again, double x, y, z, three variables of double type since the function returns double value. Math system class is common in all the functions. .cbrt name of the function is same in all three examples. Argument is changed to verify the result. When the argument is 125, so cube root of 125 is 5. But since the function returns double value, answer will be 5.0. In the same way, for 125.0, again 5.0 will be the cube root. Now, for minus 125, cube root will be minus 5.0 because cube root of negative number is possible. Now, coming to the max function, this function is used to find the larger of two numbers. Be careful, it works only on two numbers. Now, depending on the argument, return type will change. In this example, you can see I have taken three variables x, y, z of different data types, int, float and double. Just to explain why I have taken different data types, the reason is in all the three examples you can see I have passed values of different data type. In first example, 25, 23 is passed as argument. So if argument passed is integer, function will return integer value, that is y. X is declared integer type, so x will store larger of 25 and 23, that is 25. In the second example, argument passed is float value and integer value, so float is higher, so answer will come in float type. And in third example, when double value is passed, answer will come in double value, so z is declared double value. Now, in first three examples we will get the result, but if you try to find the larger of three numbers, it will give syntax error because it works on only two arguments. Now we have a solution for this. If you want to find larger of three numbers, in that case we can use math.max in nested form. Nested, if you have studied, that is one if inside another if. In the same way, max function can be used in nested form. That is one math.max is outer max, and inside that we have another math.max. So in case of nested max, first the inner max will run. So first we have to combine two numbers out of three together and apply math.max on these two numbers. That I have done here. In the inner bracket, math.max argument 23, 22, it will run first. So it will find the larger of these two. So answer will be 23. Now 23 will behave as second argument and 25 will behave as first argument for outer math.max. So outer max will run. Now it will find larger of 25 and 23 because 23 is the larger of these two numbers. So finally we will get larger of three numbers. Just like max, we have min function. Min returns smaller of two numbers. So I have taken the same example as the max. So I am not going to explain it. It is just like max. Only the difference is it will return smaller of two numbers. Now the next function, ABS. ABS function is used to return the absolute value of a number. Absolute value of a number is nothing but the mod value that we have studied in mathematics. Mod of 5 is 5, mod of minus 5 is also 5. So mod function returns the same value but ignoring the sign. So same thing is done by ABS function. It returns the same value, just it ignores the sign. So it also returns the same data type, that is depending on the argument. So in first case, math.abs minus 23. So absolute value of minus 23 will be 23 integer value. That is why x is declared integer type. In the second case, argument passed is float value. That is why y is declared float type. So here we are passing positive number 25.0 f. F suffix means this is not double value, this is float value. So answer will be in same data type. And for minus 25.0, ABS will be 25.0. Just leaving the sign. Now the next function is very important, pow function. It is used to find the power raised to a specified base, like a to the power b, where a is the base and b is the exponent. So whenever we want to find a to the power b, in that case we can use math.pow. Since function returns double value, first we need to declare double variables like xyz. Math.pow. Now argument. See the argument in first case 5, 2. So first argument behaves as base, second argument behaves as exponent. It means it is 5 to the power 2, that is 5 square. So answer is 25. But since the function returns double value, we have declared x as double type, so it will store 25.0. Second argument 2, 5 means 2 is the base, 5 is the exponent. It means 2 to the power 5. So 2 is multiplied 5 times, so we will get 32.0. Now in third example 5, minus 2. It means 5 to the power minus 2. In that case, when we remove the minus sign, then it will change to 1 by 5 square, that is 1 by 25. So if you solve 1 by 25, you will get 0.04. Now coming to the log function. This function returns the natural logarithmic value of any argument on base e. Base e, value of e is 2.718281. It is non-terminating decimal. In mathematics you have studied log, but that log you have studied on base 10. But this function by defaults give the log value of a number on base e. So the example is here. If you want to find log 10, so math.log10. In maths you have studied log 10 value is 1, but here it is giving the result 2.3025. The reason is this function finds the logarithmic value of 10 not on base 10. Actually it is finding the value of log 10 on base e. That is why we are not getting 1 here. In case you want to find the log on base 10, then instead of log we will use log 10. So same example I have used like above. Only I have used log 10 as the change. Now this function math.log10 argument 10, it will calculate the log 10 value on base 10. So that is 1.0 that you have studied. Now round function. In maths you have studied how to round off a number. When you get a real number which has whole number part and decimal part, in that case if the digit just after point or decimal is less than 5, then we write the same whole number as the answer after rounding off. But if the number after the decimal point is 0.5 or more than 0.5, then the answer becomes the next higher integer. So same round off we will use here in math.round function. Suppose we are going to print the value of math.round. In first example 6.25. First we have to see this number belongs between which two integers. So 6.25 belongs between 6 and 7. Here 6.5 is exactly in the middle. So 6.25 is on the left side of 6.5. That is, it is nearer to 6. That is why answer is 6 in integer format. In case of the argument is exactly in between two integers, like here 6.5 is exactly between 6 and 7. So in that case we will get the higher integer, so that is 7. Now minus 8.92, this number belongs between minus 8 and minus 9 on the integer number line. So minus 8.92 is nearer to minus 9. That is why we are getting minus 9. Another example, minus 1.5. Actually this number minus 1.5 is exactly in between minus 1 and minus 2. So whenever a number is exactly in between minus 1 and minus 2, then function will give the higher integer. So higher integer in this case is minus 1. So in math.round, you need to be careful when the number is exactly in between the two integers. In that case, answer will be higher integer. If the number is not exactly in between the two integers, then you can see this number is nearer to which integer on the number line, that will be your answer. Now the next function is floor. Floor and ceil, these two functions are very important and very easy. It is asked in the board many times. This function is used to round the given number. It returns a number down to the nearest integer. Example, math.floor. Before going to this function, since floor and ceil are similar functions, you can imagine about the room where you are sitting, the floor of the room and ceil of the room. Ceiling, floor means lower value, ceil means higher value, because ceiling of the room is on top and floor of the room is at the bottom. In the same way, if you forget about this function, then always remember about the floor and ceiling of the room where you are sitting. Now 6.12, again imagine this number between two integers on the integer number line. It belongs between 6 and 7. Now between 6 and 7, here we don't have to round off, just we have to find which is the lower integer, because we are finding floor value. So between 6 and 7, lower integer is 6, so answer is 6.0, because the function returns double value. Now 6.92 is the argument. Again it is between 6 and 7, and the lower value between 6 and 7 is again 6, so again answer is 6.0. So here after point, whether you have 1 or you have 9, it does not matter, because in both the cases we have to find the lower integer. Now in third example, minus 6.12. Now this number we have to imagine it belongs between which two integers on the number line. So this number is between minus 6 and minus 7 on the number line, and between these two, minus 7 is the smaller value. That is why answer is minus 7.0. And same thing here, minus 6.92 is between minus 6 and minus 7, and the lower integer is minus 7, so answer is minus 7.0. Now in the case of ceil function, I have taken the same example. Just I have copied the above example here, only the answer will change. Ceil gives the ceiling value or higher value between the two integers. So in first case 6.12 is between 6 and 7. So 6 is the lower value, 7 is the higher value. Since the ceil function gives higher value, so answer is 7.0. Here also between 6 and 7 we have the value 6.92, so answer is 7.0. In the same way, minus 6.12 belongs between minus 6 and minus 7, so higher value is minus 6 here, and here also higher value is minus 6.0. So I hope floor and ceil will be clear to you. Now the rint function. This function is similar to round that we have studied just before that. Here we will do the round off. Only the difference is round function returns integer value, rint function returns double value. And the rule of rounding off is same that we have studied in round. It means if the value after the decimal point is 0.5 or above, then answer will be next higher integer. If the value after point is less than 5, then answer will be same integer number. But we have one extra rule here. See the note here. This note is very important. If the number is exactly between two integers, then function returns nearest even integer. That is the change between round and rint. In case of round, if the number is exactly between two integers, then we will get the answer in higher integer. But in case the number is exactly between two integers and we find the rint value, then always we will get nearest even integer. Now with example it will become more clear to you. See, first four examples are simple, where we are doing the round off. It is just like round. 6.25 is between 6 and 7, and after point we have digit 2. So answer will be 6 after round off. And since the function returns double value, so we will get 6.0 here. Now 8.92, it is between 8 and 9, and after round off we will get 9, so answer will be 9.0. Here it is between minus 6 and minus 7, so after round off we will get minus 6.0. It is between minus 8 and minus 9, so after round off we will get minus 9.0, because this function is nearer to minus 9.0 on the number line. Now the other examples. Here we will use the note. See the note once more. If the number is exactly between two integers, then the function returns nearest even integer. So now in this case we will verify it. Minus 0.5. This number is exactly between minus 0 and minus 1. So between two integers, exact middle point we have. In that case, we will get the nearest even integer. So between minus 0 and minus 1, even integer is minus 0. So we will get minus 0.0. Second example, when we find rint value of minus 1.5. Here also we will imagine minus 1.5 on the number line. It lies between minus 1 and minus 2. Exactly in between these two numbers. So like I have told, when the number belongs exactly between two integers, then rint function gives nearest even integer. So between -1 and -2, nearest even integer will be -2. That is why we are getting -2.0. In case we have -2.5, it belongs between -2 and -3. So nearest even integer is -2. That is why we are getting -2 here. So you can see the change here. In both the cases, we are getting -2.0. Now when we have -3.5, it is between -3 and -4. So nearest even integer in this case is -4.0. So in last 4 examples you would have noticed that answer is always coming in even integer. Now the next function is random. Random function is very important function. Many times it is asked in the board, and it is complicated also because there are 3 varieties here. So I will explain all the 3 varieties. Please listen carefully. This function returns a random number between 0 and 1. Random number means any number. We cannot predict the exact value, but we can predict the range. Range is between 0 and 1. So between 0 and 1 we have infinite real numbers. So any number can be displayed as the result. Now the syntax, this function returns double value, so we need double variable. Then math.random, we don't pass any argument here. So math.random, blank argument, function will be any number between 0 and 1. 0 whole number is definitely there because it is more than 0, less than 1. But what will be there after point, that is unpredictable. That is why I have mentioned star, 0 point star. Now there are many modifications with random function. First modification is to get any integer random number between 0 and n. It means we want the answer should be in integer value between 0 and n, and we can decide 0 is the lower limit, but in this case 0 is included and n is excluded. So in that case, first we will write integer data type, then variable name, because the answer will come in integer value. Now typecasting is required here in int because the random function gives double value by default. So to get the answer in integer, typecasting is required. Then math.random with blank parameter list star n. This is the function. So whenever you use math.random star n, here n is the upper limit and 0 will be the lower limit. It means answer will come between 0 and n. But this point is very important. Including 0, excluding n. It means in answer 0 will be included but n will not be included. For example, when we toss a coin we get head or tail. Suppose head means 1, tail means 0. So there are two possibilities. Exactly which result will come we cannot predict. So randomly either head will come or tail will come. It means either 1 will come or 0 will come. So if we want to design a Java expression to find any integer random number from 0 to 1, it means either 0 can come or 1 can come. But only out of these two, any one will come. In that case, int r, int data type here, typecasting, math.random star 2. Here 2 is the upper range. It means number will be less than 2. 2 will not be included, but 0 will be included. So it will give any number that is more than 0 and less than 2, real number. But when you typecast it, then answer will come either 0 or 1. So that was the first variation with random function. If we want to control the upper limit and leave the lower limit, so lower limit will become 0, upper limit here is 9 n. So we will follow this syntax. Here upper limit, upper number n is not included and lower number 0 is included. Now the one more example for the same function is, write a Java expression to get any integer random number from 0 to 5. It means we can get any number from 0 to 5, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So example is same. Integer variable are here, typecasting int. Now math.random star 6. We want to get from 0 to 5, but I have written here 6. The reason is, if we write 5 here, then 5 will not be covered in the answer. But actually in the answer we need 5 also. That is why one extra number is added here in 5. So we are getting 6. So math.random star 6. In this case, value of n is 6. In the syntax you have studied, n is not covered. It means 6 will not be covered, but 0 will be covered. So it will give any integer from 0 to 5 randomly. Now the third variation of the same function is, if we want to control lower limit also and upper limit also, means to get any integer random number between m and n, including m but excluding n. Then we follow the syntax. Integer data type variable, typecasting int, here in bracket math.random star n minus m. N is upper limit, m is lower limit. So from upper limit we are subtracting lower limit, and the difference we are writing here plus m means lower limit. So if you want to print integer random numbers between m and n, where m is lower limit, n is upper limit, m is included, n is not included, then we will follow this syntax. In the game of Ludo you have noticed that die has 6 options, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When we throw a die, between these 6 options any one can appear. So we have the range from 1 to 6, but we cannot predict which number will be appearing after throwing the dice. So any number can appear randomly. Same thing we are doing here. Write a Java expression to get any integer random number from 1 to 6. From 1 to 6 means 1 is also covered, 6 is also covered. Now, the example, integer data type here, that is R, variable name, typecasting int, math.random star. After star in the syntax we are writing n minus m, upper limit minus lower limit. So here 6 minus 1 will be 5. But I have not written 5 here, I have written one extra number. Reason is, when we write 5 here, then 5 will not be in the answer. 6 will not be in the answer. Because n, when we write n minus m, then n is not included. So when we write 6 minus 1, that is 5. So 6 will not be included. This is the reason, whatever may be the difference of n minus 1, n minus m, we will add 1 extra in that. So 6 minus 1 is 5. So we are writing here 6 plus 1. 1 is the lower limit because we are starting from 1. So lower limit is covered here. 1 we will get. But the difference 5 we will not write. Instead we will write 1 more than that, that is 6. One more example here. Suppose we want to find the Java expression to get any integer random number from 5 to 15. So here lower limit is 5, upper limit is 15. So now the difference n minus m, 15 minus 5 will be 10, but we will not write 10 here, we will write 1 extra, that is 11. Reason is same, when we write 10 here, the difference of 15 and 5, then in answer we will not get 15, we will get only up to 14, and here lower limit 5 will be written as it is. Now I will explain the random function with a program that I have already designed in my computer. You can see here. We have a variable double n here that will store the result. N equal to math.random. That is the general function without any argument. Now printing the value of n. I have written many statements that are written with comments, so it will not execute. Focus only on these 3 lines. In this case, n will store any number between 0 and 1. That is the syntax of random function. So between 0 and 1, 0.9. If you run the same function again and again, it is more than 0 and less than 1. But after point the value is unpredictable. It will give different numbers. That was the first variation of random number. Now we will discuss the second variation. If we want to get integer random number between 0 and 1, means throwing a coin and we want to get either 0 or 1, that is either head or tail. So in that case we will use 2 here. Math.random star 2 star n. It means answer will be more than 0, less than 2. 2 is not included, but 0 is included here. So we will get any number between 0 and 1. So this time we are getting 1. Every time when you run it, range is same, we will get either 0 or 1, but exactly which one we will get, that is not predictable. So we have seen the second variation of this random function. Now we will discuss one more variation. If we want to control lower value also and upper value also. So how to do that? Suppose we are throwing a die in the game of Ludo. So answer will be from 1 to 6, any one number can appear. Now focus on these three statements. Variable r is declared integer type. Now our objective is to get any integer number from 1 to 6. So 1 is the lower limit, 6 is the upper limit. So type casting int here math.random. After the star here we write n minus m. So 6 minus 1, that is 5. As I have told you, if we write 5 here, then in the answer 6 will not be included. That is why we write one number extra. We add one extra, that is 6, plus lower limit, that is 1. Now we will see the result. So here we will get any number from 1 to 6 randomly. So see, one by one I am executing it. Range is 1 to 6, but exactly which number will appear, that we cannot say or we cannot predict. So you would have noticed many times I have executed, and we have got so far 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 3 we have not got. So if we run, yes, now we have got 3 also. So how many times you execute, that does not matter, because range is from 1 to 6. It can display any number randomly. Now I hope you would have understood random function. Now the next function is trigonometric functions. Actually these functions are not asked in the board, so that is why I am not going to cover this function here in this video. So that is the end of today's session. Whatever we have discussed in all the mathematical functions, please revise all these functions, see the video again and again, especially the random function and rint function, and take care. Next time we will discuss about decision making statements in Java. Thank you.